So excited. Look at us. We're ready. I'm gonna start out holding it, and then we'll see. Nobody knows what I'm referencing. I'm gonna start out holding it, and then we'll see how I feel after.
If it gets too hard, you can put it down.
I might have to wait a few minutes.
All right. This is good.
Would you like a box to put that on?
I kind of no. Doesn't this look comfortable?
It looks super comfortable. Do you want something to put it on? You can
What do we got?
I mean, I have
boxes behind.
there's stuff behind you if you want to use that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just don't jiggle it. Welcome to the Countdown Movie Show. We are counting down to the newest Spider-Man Brand New Day. My name is Sean Blodgett. I'm with Creative Motion Entertainment, and over by my right is...
Paul Preston of the Movie Guys.
And Justin Bowler of The World.
Today we're going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man as we jump back into all the Spider-Man movies. I'm super excited to talk about this one. I can't wait to hear what these guys have to say because I think they know I do enjoy this film. So I'm looking forward to hearing their thoughts. First off, one thing I totally forgot to do, and I'm hoping one of you guys did.
Zoinks?
Zoinks! Oh, like Scoop! What am I going to do? I forgot to look up. Is there anything new happening with Brand New Day? I think they released some sort of footage or something.
Well, between now and our last one, they did release a semi-trailer, which was posted. We posted on Facebook, but it's not a trailer. It's just like a look at the suit and Tom, looking at the camera.
But they do have. I mean, the actual trailer's up.
Yeah.
Have you not seen the actual trailer?
No.
Wait.
No.
Oh my God. Wait, are you serious?
And I'm in charge of our social media?
Okay, all right.
Okay,
hold on. You weren't from Italy.
We're gonna take a moment here and make sure.
Hold.
Okay.
Oh. Nobody can see how much I'm enjoying this, but I really am.
Should I put in my headphones, my own headphones, so I can hear it?
I mean, you could just play it out loud.
This came out a month ago? It's 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Okay, hold.
All right, should I stop the recording, or should I just...
Wait. Maybe I did see this, because this opening shot is looking familiar.
I feel like you saw that.
Yes, I have seen that. I just forgot that I saw that. And I didn't want to say anything during the trailer, because I was having so much fun watching it.
It is really...
It looks really great.
It is a wonderful trailer. I've been trepidatious about this film, because I think they had a great ending with the last movie. But I saw that trailer and I went, okay, I'm back in. I love it. I'm so excited. Yeah. So there's another scene that they've released. Some sort of. You said they released something else. No?
Like 2 months ago, they had released something which was just like him in the suit and in a warehouse.
That was before.
Yeah,
got it.
Okay, and that was like a year ago or something.
No, I think it was right before.
No,
it was before Super Bowl. It was in lieu of they weren't doing anything at the Super Bowl, so in January they released that as everything.
I think so.
I think Paul's right. I do think that they released the suit thing. And,
it wasn't the chairs. It was something totally different.
No, not the chair. Yeah, then now that's Avengers Doomsday is the chairs, right?
Wait a minute, we're not seeing Avengers Doomsday.
That's not what we're talking about today.
What story are we talking about right now?
It's just. You're good.
Okay.
You're doing such a great job.
It looks great. And something I didn't even think about before, I didn't remember the hand. Do we have the hand coming in? Is that what's going on with the guys with the swords? Is this the hand?
I saw a bunch of ninjas and I didn't know what the hell it was. No, the hand's from the Netflix series, right? From the Defenders.
Right, but I mean, it's an actual thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The look on my face is I don't know what that is. So
it's a secret organization.
But that's who they were in the Netflix Marvel movies, right?
Yes,
and Marvel TV
That's
shows.
Where what's her face comes from. Katana.
Sure.
Thank you.
From Halo?
Yeah, from Halo.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like it. Everything's great.
Yep.
All right. So that's all the real new news that we have, I think, in terms of
I'm Paul
that
Preston,
movie.
the movie guy. Sean Vaughn is here. Justin will be here soon.
There was casting, but we kind of touched on that last time. They announced some other stuff.
Come on,
but
Michael Mando. That's cool.
Yeah,
right?
but
Nacho from Better Call Saul.
Do we want to go too much into those things?
No, because I don't know a whole lot of the villains from the comics, so I don't know who he's playing. I'll wait and find out.
Right, exactly.
But it's cool to see him in the trailer. I liked him. I liked Better Call Saul a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think, in some of the research that I did in the last 5 minutes before you guys came, because I've been crazy.
Nice.
There was one thing that came up in the research that I feel like has affected where superhero movies have gone in general.
I'm intrigued.
And it's this idea that they wanted to focus on a grounded realism and physical performance over just purely digital look.
You know what is fascinating about... Wait, what are we talking about?
Which movie?
Well, this is referencing the Amazing Spider-Man, which we're about to talk about.
Okay.
But I think that the Amazing Spider-Man did have, whether you like that movie or not, and we'll hear from you guys on all that. But whether you liked it or not, I do think that it had the effect on the future superhero movies of this type, because we have other superhero movies that I think are grounded in realism, grounded in sort of a darkness, like The Dark Knight and all of that stuff. But I don't look at Batman. Batman's a superhero, but what's his superpower is he's rich, right? And that he got some skills.
That's
and he
the
got
line,
some, But it wasn't until really, I think, with the Spider-Man stuff and really the development of this technology that they can really make. I mean, CG by this point is getting really good, right?
Yeah.
It's been so fun doing going back with all these films. I mean, we really have had an enjoyable journey of watching CG grow.
Oh yeah, over decades.
It's really, really crazy. And of course now, this is a hot button issue, but all of the AI implementation with CG, and that's going to affect it, and it already is, but in an even bigger way. But the images we're seeing that are computer generated imagery, and all three of us did the special effects stages show at Universal Studios Hollywood, so we talked about all that stuff there. But all of that stuff is getting so good looking. It's getting so photo real that you really can't tell what the computer is generating and what is just something that somebody captured.
What I want to go back to what you were saying about this being the goal of this, because Mark Webb, director of Amazing Spider-Man, several times is quoted saying, no, we wanted it grounded, we wanted it real, we wanted it physical. So they opted to do as many physical stunts as they could. But what I find funny about that is literally every single incarnation of so many of the films that we've done, that's what they all say. No, we want to keep this grounded. We want to keep it real.
That's interesting.
Batman felt grounded. Batman Begins felt grounded and real. All right, what is the Batmobile? Well, it's it's a tumbler from military. Oh, okay. And then we take it one step further. It's just like the X-Men movies. The X-Men movies, once again, grounded in reality. They just happen to have all of these powers. X2 takes it to a whole new level where it's like, all right, we're no longer talking about bigotry against mutants, but it's it's the undertones of being gay and this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
Each one keeps saying that and saying that and saying that, and as we get into it, I literally had a note where I was like, James Horner did not get this note because this music is so fantastical. But even Sam Raimi, once again, said, no, we wanted to keep it grounded with the exception of we wanted to have bright colors to still keep it interesting.
Wait a second. I have to jump in here because you said you felt like the music was fantastical.
I did.
Oh, that's so interesting because I don't feel like the music in this is fantastical in terms of like a fantasy kind of sound. It maybe magical, maybe I found it very heartfelt, to be honest. I found it very moving and emotional, more so than like feeling grandeur or something like that. But no, okay, interesting.
Doesn't it plug in a little bit too? Isn't there like a metallic sort of Hans Zimmer vibe to part of it too?
Well, it's early on. Like I was like, oh, in knowing and doing research before. By the way, I had not seen this movie in its entirety ever. I've seen bits and pieces and I had seen...
Oh, you had never seen it head to toe?
I'd never seen... Not in one sitting.
Wow.
Not in one sitting. And so early on, I was just like, the music... I was like, this isn't Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman wouldn't have... Danny Elfman is big, and he's Beetlejuice, and he's, Batman Forever and all of this stuff. So it was just like, I genuinely thought it was that because it was so, I don't know, just big. It was like, and when things were happening, I was like, you're beating us over the head with this, as opposed to going back to Grounded and Dark Knight. Give us some of the score from Dark Knight, Paul. There were two basic themes. Go.
Yeah,
that's Grounded.
Yeah.
There. The other one sounds like this.
I know there was also bum 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 bum.
Yes, there was.
I mean, there was also that as well. Yeah.
Said you want to be a star to something. Got to be a star to something.
That's not it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was something about that sounding a lot like a Smooth Criminal. You want to hear something
He said, "Want to be certain." Go ahead.
No, it's all good.
Did either of you guys see Michael yet?
No.
I haven't seen it either. What were the numbers? Do we know what the numbers were?
Huge.
They were big. 97 million domestically.
I think it
is what
has
was.
the potential to be the biggest film ever, but I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that love Michael Jackson.
I know. I will agree to that.
Yeah.
I think it'll go, but the thing that it's missing in what I'm seeing in a number of reviews is that it talks about the myth and it doesn't talk about the man. It covers the myth, not the man.
There was a rumor I saw. Actually, it might have been an article in Hollywood Reporter that was
about the ending.
That there was a third act that was written that got cut.
That was shot.
Oh,
that
it
was
was
completely scrapped because they realized we can't do any of this. We all have an NDA on this. We can't talk about this. We can't shoot this.
Oh, wow.
So they went back and redid it.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I feel like you should acknowledge your NDA probably before you get on set.
You'd think the lawyers who were looking at the script would have said, hey, is this... somebody would have said to the lawyers, is this all good? Is this all good?
Just so you know, guys, that maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. Just saying.
No.
All right. Well, let's jump into this.
Right.
Do you have does anybody have a synopsis?
Did you see it, though?
Wait, what?
Did you see Michael?
I didn't.
No.
Yet. No. I'm
Okay.
supposed to go this week.
I was going to ask you for a review.
I'm really wanting to go. What I love is my nephew. His name's Nathan. He's in his 20s.
Good old reliable Nathan, his nephew.
Anyway, he has grown to really love movies,
Smooth Criminal.
that was the original version of Smooth Criminal. But I just want to mention it because we talk about on the show, like getting people to go back to the movies. And he's a young guy, and he's got a couple of buddies, and they all dressed up in different Michael Jackson era.
Oh my God, that's
outfits
great!
And went Thursday night to see the opening. I was just like, yes.
I love that.
Yes, I'm so excited about this.
Not only do I love that, but on top of that, last Halloween, I watched the Thriller video on my new TV that I had gotten because I found a video channel, and Thriller came up. And everyone knows, the red leather that he wears in the video. But before he is turned into the Thriller, when he's just on the date with the girl that
Right.
looks like Janet, which is creepy, but while he's on the date...
I never thought about that. Oh my God,
she
that's
really
so
does
true.
bear
Oh
a
my
striking
God!
resemblance. It's odd. It's odd. Anyway, when he's on the date, it's kind of that outfit, but it's not. It's a little more Letterman-y. And I was like, that would be a great costume because it's Thriller, but it's not.
Right.
And it's only something that only the real diehard fans would be like, hey, what you got? That's cool.
He transforms
Yeah.
into the werewolf in that outfit, right? In the movie, in the movie.
Yes, in the movie. Yeah, it's what he's wearing on the
I
date,
hear
exactly.
they don't mention Janet in this film.
Apparently, she didn't want to be a part of it. Yeah.
They mention
Janet
Latoya
and,
in the other one.
Janet and somebody else. There's one other too. I forgot who else it was.
Wow.
There were two of them.
Jermaine.
No, Jermaine's all apart. Jafar is Jermaine's son. Jafar is the guy who plays Michael Jackson in the film Michael.
Oh, okay.
Not Aladdin's Jafar.
I was like, what?
You're like, no, I'm pretty sure Jafar's in Aladdin.
Right. I'm like, Jafar is not a good guy. He tries to steal, the lamp, and
Jury's
he
out on
turns into
Michael
a-
Jackson too.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
All right, Justin, do you have a synopsis for us for The Amazing Spider-Man?
I need to write. I do, but I want to write one note real quick.
Okay, go
Can
ahead.
you give me hold music while I write this note? It's for the next show. While we're doing shows, I make notes for the next shows. All right, I'm back. Hey, I'm an ant. What am I going to do with that guy over there? That guy
Were
is
you
trying
guys
to steal-
disappointed by the Pink Panther when you were kids?
that he never spoke?
The movie.
Oh.
Like with Peter Sellers?
With Peter Sellers?
Yes.
No.
You're
I was
insane.
watching that entire movie going, what the hell is this freaking thing?
Well, first off, I will admit, the first one isn't nearly as good as the second one.
Yeah, Strikes Again is hilarious.
It's spectacular
Yeah.
because they just let Peter Sellers go.
Yeah.
They said, we've got a script, but we'll throw it out the window. You just do what you're doing.
I didn't understand it. When I was a kid, I just remember going, when do we see
The Pink
Panther?
The Pink
I'm
Panther is
sitting
a
there
diamond.
the entire movie going, I don't understand what
Well,
this is.
yes, there's literally zero correlation between the movie and the cartoon. The cartoon is about a panther who is pink and Jackie Mason doing the voice of an ant, which is what I was attempting to do just now.
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
was Jackie
Thank you.
Mason.
Of an anteater.
That's right. He was an ant, with the
Wasn't he?
anteater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
He's
there's
an
a panther.
anteater. All right, hit us up with a synopsis. Here
I thought we were going to go off on Pink Panther.
all right. Let's Pink Panther it then. I don't know.
Because that's good, but then it's just like what was they did 2 more Clouseaus, but one of them wasn't with the original.
They did Revenge of the Pink Panther, but by the time they got to Curse, then they had I think Sellers was dead, so they just kind of had him on the edges of the story and seen in distances and from behind and stuff.
It was his sergeant or something that was
Something
the
like
entire
that,
story.
yeah.
But then I thought there was
Ooh,
one
that's
more
weird.
that was done, like Peter Sellers did a Clouseau type movie, but it was without them in the middle of all of that.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought so. Maybe I'm mixing it up
Like
with
a Never Say
Yeah.
Never Again of the
Yeah,
Clouseau-verse.
exactly.
Yeah.
God, Never Say Never Again.
Maybe
That
I'm mixing
was
it up with
just-
the Maxwell Smart series.
That was only
Pretty much.
television, except for the nude bomb.
The Nude Bomb, which wasn't Maxwell Smart.
It
but
was.
It was?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got all these facts wrong. Guys, I'm drunk.
Last time we do this in the AM.
Right? Yeah. So much for being
Most
awake.
of my drinking takes place before 11 a.m. So, yeah. Yes, here's our synopsis.
I like that you said
those things that aren't
synapses.
firing in Justin's brain right now? Here's them.
Those are the synapses, not firing.
After Peter Parker is bitten by a genetically...
But genetically, hey man, you watch out for that spider over there. But genetically, excafile.
Hey, Jafar, stop trying to steal my lamp. After Peter Parker is bitten by a genetically altered spider, he gains newfound spider-like powers and ventures out to save the city from the machinations of a mysterious reptilian foe.
I mean, what
See how,
to me
see how
that
quickly he did that, Sean? We're done. That's it.
let me just say this. that leaves out to me one of the greatest things about this movie is that there's a little bit of a different storyline with his origin, especially with the parents. And I think the mystery of that is so interesting, and they just completely don't even mention any of that stuff because without that you don't have that storyline.
Yeah?
Anyway,
What's
Yeah.
the storyline?
I mean, his father and Connor's they basically spend their careers doing this genetic testing of trying to put these two species together to, fill in DNA and all that. I mean, it's basically Jurassic Park, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, that's the foundation of that, is super interesting. I think, that there's a mystery in the beginning of the film, which we don't get on any other Spider-Man version.
No, we don't. In fact, it's also interesting because as I was watching it, once again, I've never seen it all in one sitting, and on top until last night, and then on top of that, it's like there's plenty of stuff that was like, I don't remember this, don't remember this. I didn't remember the intro about his parents dying, and as soon as it happened, I was like, oh my god, I'm so intrigued because they did die in a plane crash, which is how they died in the comics,
Right?
But there was no mention of Red Skull. Now at this point, Marvel had Marvel been picked up by
what's the Red Skull reference?
Red Skull. Okay. In the comics,
I'm
the
just gonna
parents.
say, but when you first said it, I paused and I went, Red Skeleton.
No, it was Red Fox.
Red.
Let me tell you why I don't like Spider-Man. You big dummy. Red in the comics, his parents were spies, and Red Skull was getting back at them, had their plane sabotaged, and that's why they
Wait,
crashed.
are you serious?
Yes, but there's no mention of that in this movie. But for some reason, Connor said I had nothing to do with that. So it's like, were we supposed to find out that he did and he was connected to Red Skull?
What? I didn't know. What a great story. Oh my God.
2012. So this is after Disney had purchased Marvel, right? Do you recall? Wasn't it 2010? Because Iron Man's 2010.
It's got,
right?
I think you're correct.
Yeah, Marvel's by 12, Avengers was in the Disney camp.
Right.
By the way, was Feige on this at all? Because
No.
he was on Spider-Man 3, wasn't he?
Right, but in a diminished capacity.
Yeah,
he wasn't
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
major.
but I mean, but he was still a
Avi
producer
Arad
on
was,
it.
was our big
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's why. I mean, we'll get to that in a minute. That's why this movie happened the way that it did, as opposed to there was originally supposed. We touched on it in our last episode. There was supposed to be a Spider-Man 4,
Right.
with all of our people from before.
By the way, that got... I think you might have talked about in that last episode. Like, it goes really far down the path.
It really does. I mean, we could jump into it now. The movie was originally... I just had to copy and paste when I found it because there was too much. Originally, it was conceived as Spider-Man 4 as a direct sequel to the original film trilogy. Sony Pictures had actually begun pre-production after opting to make this film they were already making that film before they decided to make this a reboot. They had negotiated contracts with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, each receiving a reported $30 million for it, by the way. And it was going to be another 3-picture deal with the intention of creating a whole new trilogy. Scripts were commissioned from writers James Vanderbilt, who did this, Alvin Sargent, Dave Cope, and Gary Ross, each writer earning upwards of $1 million. So already, just on writing and their top stars alone, without the director, we're at 34 or 35 million. The story would have introduced the Vulture as a new villain. Raimi wanted Ben Kingsley for the role, but eventually cast John Malkovich as that. I think we touched on that last time.
I think that's fun.
we did.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Malkovich was actually slated to play Norman Osborn in the original film series, but then they wanted to change it, and he had to withdraw due to scheduling conflicts because there were so many problems with it. In addition to the Vulture, the film would have also introduced the villainess Felicia Hardy with Anne Hathaway, who was already set to play the character. And in the initial story, Hardy would become her comic book alter ego Black Cat, and later recreated Hardy, as the original character called Vultress, which Hathaway would then take on kind of a similar role, obviously, in The Dark Knight Rises.
Wow.
Didn't end up. Raimi also expressed interest in having Dylan Baker return as Dr. Kirk Connors, who would transform into the villain. But Avi Arad vetoed this idea completely, started having major disagreements with Sam Raimi, and with development costs skyrocketing in excess of
There was some skywriting, too. They put the budget right in the air.
Everyone in Hollywood knew what was going on here because they kept just updates across the sky. With development costs skyrocketing in excess of $100 million. $100 million for development.
What?
Raimi unhappy with repeated versions of the script, tensions rising between him and Anne Maguire and the studio. And Arad, Sony just opted to cancel the film, reboot the series instead. Raimi finally said it's for the best because he was unhappy with Spider-Man 3, citing that the studio influence was way too much, and he absolutely hated it. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's... Wow.
I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy that... $100 million. In the behind-the-scenes stuff that I saw, which wasn't much, but just a little bit, they do bring up a good point, which is... I'm going to take this.
The microphone's getting very close to Sean's mouth. It's about to get very, very intense.
What they bring up is that, it's okay to reboot Spider-Man. That's what I'm saying.
But I remember at the time thinking this is so dumb. Like, I remember at the time, I'm like, it's been 4 years?
Well, that was...
And we're rebooting?
I think that was the problem, was it's fine to reboot Spider-Man. I think, they reference the comics in the behind the scenes. They're like, look, there's been many iterations of Spider-Man, and of course, we get that acknowledged into the Spider-Verse and all that stuff. But I just think that it had been so recent. We had just gotten an origin story, even, and now we're doing another one, and we're doing an origin. I mean, I think that's one of the things that Spider-Man: Homecoming does right is they don't do an origin story.
Well, even before that, Civil War. It's just who's that guy in? in Queens fighting bad guys. And
Yeah.
bring him in.
Exactly.
We know who he is.
We know
Everybody
who he
knows
is.
who he is.
Yeah. I think that's some of the brilliance of that. But, all right. Well, I mean, okay, go on.
But
if you've
they made
got more.
a number of things to try and be different. Obviously, this swapped out your female to Gwen Stacy. Gave him a skateboard. Ever had that
They
before?
did give him a
No.
skateboard. They wanted to make him grungy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
more
still a
street
nerd enough
level.
to get beat up. So it's a little mix there. Skateboarders don't get beat up, I don't think.
It was a hard mix for me, too.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wait a minute. Okay, you're a super genius, but you're a skateboarder, kind of punk. Like
Mark Webb talks about that in the behind the scenes, and he basically says he wanted him to not really be a nerd. Like he's like, nerd is too, almost like it's too far. He just wanted him to be a little bit of an outcast. Like he's
and a genius.
Yeah, and I actually really like that take. I think they did a good job with that, and I think Andrew Garfield. First of all, I want to say I think Andrew Garfield delivers a stellar performance.
He's very good, and I'm
Yeah.
also going to jump on that and say, this is why you should watch a movie in one sitting, kids. You shouldn't watch it in 10 different increments. The character he was portraying, I was like, this is not the character I remember at all. He's a very different character, and now it makes me I'm excited for No Way Home so I can see how that character is more that character and not the character that in my mind
see.
I thought he was.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it's not just a typical reincarnation of what we've seen. It is
Right.
very different than Tobey Maguire. In my opinion, is very different than Tom Holland. Tobey
yeah.
Maguire and Tom
Yeah.
Holland are similar. This is definitely a different kind of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a punk.
Well, and
he's kind of a dick in all honesty. At
This
some point.
Spider-Man is very. See, that's funny. I don't find him to be a dick, but
with the police.
okay, yeah. I mean, I think the problem with that is they're trying to capture his smart aleckness from the comics, the little quips and the little,
Yeah?
that kind of stuff.
Maybe
Well,
save
he
that for the
has-
bad guys.
He does have it with the bad guys.
Yeah,
You know,
he
what
does
is this?
yeah.
Oh, it's some stuff I made in my lab. You don't want to know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do think I don't know. I mean, you're right. He is kind of jerkish with the cops for sure. That's a good point. But I don't know. I like the portrayal of this, and I do think that this is very close to a Spider-Man that we would read in comics in like the 90s.
Yeah.
Like I really feel like they captured that
Well, yeah,
Spider-Man.
he's a little more grungy.
He's a little more grungy. He's a little bit more edgy. They also talk about they wanted to double down on like how does it affect someone that you've lost your parents, and growing up without parents, like what that is. I really thought that was. I felt like they captured that really well and in a different way. And of course, like, dude, Aunt May is Sally Field.
Yeah.
Tell me that she's not awesome in this. She's awesome in this.
Well, she's awesome in everything. She also
Yeah.
did not like this film.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, that's something I have. I
Oh.
mean, when we get to, I may as well bring it up now. She was on Howard Stern and famously said, I just hated it. She's like, it's not my film. It was wonderful working with Andrew. Andrew was a very gifted, talented guy. She said, she had a fantastic quote though. Let's get to the fantastic quote of hers, which was, you can't put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. She's like, it was not a 3-dimensional character. It was completely flat. And she referred to the film as frivolous.
I mean, I don't disagree.
She did it as a favor to one of the producers.
I don't disagree that it is a frivolous movie to a certain degree. Like it's like there's something about this movie that feels
Popcorny.
Like yeah. I mean, it's why I didn't see it in the theater originally, because I was like, I don't care about this.
Really?
I literally was like, I remember when this came out and I was like, I don't care about this at all.
I did feel that way.
Yeah, I was not interested. Now I had forgotten that it was shot in 3D.
And a red. It was the first one
Yeah.
to
Those
use a
were the
red
days.
camera on
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah. Was it first?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Oh, okay. That's
They had to
interesting.
build special cranes because the
Yeah.
red cameras are so effing heavy.
Right. That's so interesting. Yeah. I would have loved to have seen it in 3D because you watch it now and you're like, oh yeah, that would have been bitching. Like
Might
this-
have been all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be a 3D festival.
Ooh, I love
just
that
where we-
idea.
they
Yeah,
don't-
just like revisit all these great
recent
films
stuff,
and
yeah.
like, yeah.
Some of the
Ant-Man
good
and-
ones, though.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
good ones that were shot in 3D.
Yeah.
It was released July 3rd, 2012. The budget for this movie was $230 million. However, I do not know if that incorporates the $100 million that they lost in development prior to it or not.
How much did it make?
world opening weekend was 62 million domestically. Overall,
That's a good opening. That's a good opening.
It is. It's not as good as the other ones.
No, but it's still a good opening.
Not as good as Michael.
Cave of Wonders. Overall, it made 262 million domestically, 496 million internationally, for a worldwide total of 758, which is enough, obviously, to garner a sequel. But that's not huge hit.
No.
It broke one record. One record.
What did it break?
I'm going to give you a hint.
Oh.
It was released on July 3rd.
Oh, it broke Independence Day's record.
No.
Oh.
It just was the highest grossing 4th of July weekend movie.
4th of July was on a Wednesday that year. It is the highest grossing Tuesday opening of all time with 35 million, bitches! Biggest Tuesday of all time. Come on.
I mean,
Beating out previous records set by one of the Transformers movies. I don't know which one because
No, you don't.
30
Who
of them.
knows? You know, one of the Transformers movies is in the top 10 grossing films of all time.
And it's the one with dinosaurs.
You don't know which one it is.
I have no
You
idea
don't.
which one.
Exactly.
It is.
Who knows?
Pirates is in there too. We've covered this, and it's like
that's right.
Pirates 6.
I really like the dinosaur Transformers.
Top lifetime PG-13 grosses of all time. It's number 87. Top lifetime grosses of all time, 152. Those aren't terrible numbers.
No.
They're good.
Look, the movie made money. It made respectable money. It made its money back.
Yes.
Right? Like, I mean, $100 million in development, whether or not we got that in the actual budget cost, like either way, they made that back.
Right.
So, on paper, it is a success.
It's definitely a success,
Yeah.
and obviously to bring everybody back. And you're not, to know they're bringing everybody back, and we don't have to pay each person $30 million to do it.
Right.
And you know what's interesting? I talked about this with Adam, fellow movie guy, Adam Witt, and he said, no one cares. No one cares. And this whole thing about what a thing costs and what it makes is like drummed up by press, and people read it, and then they suddenly care. But you don't really.
Oh, that's
Right. You like the movie.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Like this is a whole conversation that's like become a thing online that like it doesn't matter.
I mean, I think it matters to people like us. Like, I think people like us care about these things.
Right, because it also gives us something to talk about. Paul, do not take away our content.
We have nothing to talk
But if you look at these
Jesus,
days,
you want to talk
Do you know
about
how many
Michael
days
for an
we've
hour?
done?
All right, I'll go back to it. Right.
Shimon!
I was literally trying to think of any song from Aladdin, and I couldn't think of any song that Jafar sings. He's only got one.
Oh, the Jafar sings.
Jafar.
What does he sing?
He's got one towards the end, but I can't sing it because I can't think of it. I keep thinking
yeah.
of Poor Unfortunate Souls, and I know that's not it.
No, that's definitely not.
He's not one step ahead of the breadline. Which one is he?
He's also not stealing anybody's voice. Okay, I do have some questions for you right off the bat. There have been several Spider-Men, right?
Right.
Our Spider-Men, they have other movies they've been in. So I have 6 movies here that Andrew Garfield has been in. Some of these are gimmies. Some of them are not. And I want you to rank them from highest to lowest in box office.
Okay.
Okay?
I love this.
I'm going to give you the 6 movies. Hacksaw Ridge, The Social Network, Eyes of Tammy Faye, The Amazing Spider-Man, Tick Tick Boom, and Spider-Man No Way Home. All right? Give me the rank from highest grossing to lowest grossing out of those 6.
Spider-Man No Way Home is number 1.
I'm going to go with that.
That is
No
correct.
question.
Bing! Ding! Ding!
Give me what's left of.
I
don't
think
know-
the
I don't
Ghost
know
of
what other
Christmas
stuff-
Past is here.
Give me the rest of them again.
We have Hacksaw Ridge, The Social Network, Eyes of Tammy Faye, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Tick Tick Boom.
I'm going to go Amazing Spider-Man,
That's
second
number
one.
2. Yeah.
That is correct. 758 million. No Way Home was 1.92 million.
I'm going to go Social Network
Billion,
next.
excuse me.
It's either that or Hacksaw Ridge, but I
Yeah.
will go with you. I'll
Yeah.
say it's Social Network.
Social ding. That is correct.
They're so good at this game.
224 million. Boy, you take the superhero out of the film, and you drop from 758 million down to 224 million, right?
And you call that a success because it is.
Yeah, I mean, it still is. Social Network was huge.
This is talking about the numbers nobody cares about, but this is where these numbers drive me batty because all of these friggin' studios want that movie. They want the movie that's going to make $750 to $2.5 billion, right? That's what they want, which is exactly why smaller movies don't get made as much. And I've said it for a long time. Pick a handful of younger filmmakers, give them each $1 million, and just go make some great movies. Don't oversight them. Don't get in their way. Just let them make their movie.
Yeah.
Find, to your point, you always say, Paul, find people who are passionate about a story they want to do, and give them $1 million and just see what the hell happens. You produce 10 or 20 movies. I'm sure 5 of those are going to do really well.
Yeah.
And maybe 1 or 2 of them is going to be a big hit.
Yeah.
That's Jason Blum.
You don't get a Nora, with the studio at
Right.
all. No, there's no one who says yes to that.
Right.
But what's another thing that you didn't bring up is I think they were shooting for this release date in 2011. And so Sam Raimi was like, another thing was we didn't have everything together by the time he could make the movie by that date.
Yeah.
Not only was he displeased with where the script was going and all that other stuff, but, you force that release date and then it's like, I'm out. It's even more, encouragement to get out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So we have Spider-Man No Way Home at $1.92 billion.
Next.
We have Amazing Spider-Man $758 million. Social Network $224 million. You have Tick Tick Boom, Hacksaw Ridge, and Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yep.
Hacksaw Ridge. Ding!
We're so
181 million.
Now this is what made the least money. Eyes of Tammy Faye, which is excellent, and Tick Tick Boom, which is excellent. But what did people see?
I think Tick Tick Boom is next.
I do not. I think Jessica Chastain winning the Oscar may have given a little boost to Eyes of Tammy Faye.
I'm gonna defer to Paul because he is the movie guy.
Garfield was nominated, but it didn't win, so I think that might just be the tiniest little thing. Oh, maybe we should go see that, and it probably saw a little bump. So I'm going to say Tammy Faye is next.
I'm gonna go with him.
Doctor, do you concur?
I do concur.
All right. Ding!
Hey!
The Eyes of Tammy Faye Baker. 2.7 million. Tick Tick Boom only ran in limited release. It was on Netflix.
Oh.
It made almost zero money, or at least they're not going to admit any. Officially,
that's
it made
interesting.
like 0.1 million, like $100,000. And that was it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mostly streamed.
Yes, he was nominated for Eyes of Tammy Faye at the same, or no, he was nominated for Hacksaw Ridge also the same year as what? As his co-star.
Hacksaw Ridge?
Oh, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone was nominated for
La La Land.
La La Land. That is correct.
And Paul loves that movie.
He loves that movie.
It's true.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Poor unfortunate souls.
Not from that. That's
pain
not from that.
in need. I'm pretty sure it was.
No,
Jafar
I'm gonna
sang
watch it
it.
again.
I know what
Let's
I'm
all
talking
watch
about.
it again and find out. That'd be fun. Twist my arm.
Peter Parker casting. Sony considered Andrew unknown enough to feel like a real teenager, despite him already being in the Social Network.
Did you read the story about what sort of sealed the deal for Mark Webb?
Was it crying in the audition?
No.
No.
There was something with like he had to eat like a hamburger or something in the scene at one point in one of the screen tests or something, and just he was so awkward with it. He was just like, that's the right amount of awkward that I want.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really funny. And then of course they also talked about that Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, who also did date during the filming of the film,
and lasted for a few years as well.
Yeah. That they clearly had chemistry, and everybody was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I once was listening to back when they had DVDs, kids. I was looking at behind the scenes of the first season of Arrow. And I never really watched Arrow. I watched the first season. And our two leads, they talked about in the room, there was one quote that was hilarious to me because they were talking about why they were cast. And they said, because you could tell on their first read together that they had such chemistry. The specific quote was, if the rest of us aren't in this room, those two are fucking.
Wow.
Like, that's how good their chemistry was.
Wow.
And they were never a thing, apparently, but it was just
Right.
like, that's how good it was. It was just like, you believe these two people were going to jump on each other the moment no one was looking.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I think the chemistry thing. I mean, they do have these chemistry tests, different than the tests in the school, kids. But those chemistry tests are. I mean, I think they're real. You can feel it on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Like
absolutely. When
that
someone
stuff
has it and when they don't.
Yeah, it's just so different. It's totally different.
He did cry during his audition. That was something that was specifically mentioned. They weren't going for athletic. They actually had him lose weight. They did not want him to bulk up. He stole is a strong word, but he kept the suit pieces that he used for the screen test as souvenirs. He said nobody ever asked for them back. And he was also asked to do a lot of improv jokes as Spider-Man during the audition, like the Spider-Man quips. They just asked him to throw
He's
them in
a
there.
huge fan, so I have no
Exactly.
problem believing he did that.
And
He
the
said
behind
he's
the
been
scenes-
waiting 24 years to get this call since he was 2.
Yeah.
He's like, that's how long I've been a fan of this character.
One of the things that Mark Webb loved about him too was that when they had a conversation once he was getting cast, he literally kind of said to him like why should I do this? Like, you guys just did this movie. Like, it's so good. Everything that's been done is so good. Like, should I be doing this? Like,
yeah.
And Mark was like that was part of it for me, was like he was so thoughtful about wanting to do right by it, and I love that,
Several people auditioned for both Peter and Harry. Remember, early version of the script. These were several people that were contenders. Logan, by the way, I do know who these people are, Paul. I see you over there being all judgy.
Yeah.
Paul's ready to be like,
I might get
he
their
doesn't know
names
who any of
wrong,
these
but I know
people
what they
are.
were in.
Oh, I expect you to get their names wrong.
He doesn't know.
Logan Lerman. No one?
I don't know. who
You've
that
seen
is.
him?
Yeah,
Percy Jackson.
that's right.
Oh.
He's fantastic as Percy Jackson. He's really great.
He
I was
just
sad they
in,
didn't make a third one.
Only Murders in the Building.
You're correct.
Which, by the way, that show I loved. I loved the first season. Season 2's great. Now it's just convoluted.
There's a season 3 of Percy Jackson?
No, I'm talking about Only Murders in the Building.
Oh.
Percy Jackson.
You didn't like season 3 of... What season are you talking about for Only Murders in the Building?
Maybe it's season... Is there a 4?
I think there's
We're on
6
5.
or something.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
know.
on. I think 5 was the last
by
one.
Five was the
season,
last one.
by season 4, it just feels forced.
I don't. There's still absolutely brilliant moments that are in there.
I agree. There's brilliant
God.
moments. Season 1 was just so genius.
It really was.
Genius.
But also one of the hardest laughs that I've ever had watching a television show. I'm pretty sure it was season 4 because that's when Steve Martin blanks out when he is supposed to be doing his monologue.
Oh yeah.
Everyone in the room who's just heard what he said, like it was just like every single one of their reactions was so great as they just go from person to person
Maybe
to
I'm
person.
talking about season 5 then. I don't know.
maybe. Anyway.
I might be talking about season 5.
It gets a little muggy.
Because season 4 was
but
good.
It's still good.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Josh Hutcherson.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. That's great.
Wait, who do you play in the Hunger Games?
First, the cute
The
guy.
kid.
Right. First
He's
off,
in Five Nights at Freddy's as well. if
yeah,
you
Logan
talk Sean's
Lerman.
language.
Logan Lerman, I think, would have been right there. I think this would have been an equally good film with Logan Lerman.
Yeah.
I don't, I think he'd have been just fine. He has that. I mean, they're similar characters. It's the origin story of what? I have these powers. Where did I get I can do this? Like, oh, I can do this. Okay, let's try and do this. And I got too big for my britches. Josh Hutcherson just seems a little too arrogant. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Maybe it's because I've only seen him in those kind of. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. No. This one.
I mean, we still want you on the show, Josh. If you want to come tell your story.
we do
about
still
that.
want it.
Yeah.
Yes, please
by.
come.
100%.
We'd love to have you come and look down on us. Jamie Bell. He was up for this.
He's great. I mean, it's
Billy
hilarious.
from Billy Elliot.
But it's hilarious that, of course, Tom Holland became famous for Billy Elliot as well. So
Right.
they were dipping
Now-
into that well a couple times.
This is true.
They did say that they saw stellar people for the auditions. Like, they were like, everybody was really good.
And then this, I had no idea. Anton Yelchin.
I don't know who that is.
Chekhov from Star Trek.
Oh, the kid who passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, wow, that's great. Like, I wouldn't even have thought of it.
Yeah.
But apparently he was a contender.
No, he would have been really good. He was a fine actor.
Emma Stone originally read for Mary Jane Watson. It was literally, we'll get into this a little more. Their chemistry changed the movie. It changed what was on the page. It changed the story that they were telling. Because all of a sudden they said, we have to make her a love interest, like a hardcore love interest. Their chemistry is too good. They got to be together. It can't be someone who's aloof and he's chasing after her. This is where the story is. So obviously they ended up changing things and then made her, a very center point of this movie, which I'm also going to dive into real quick. I was blown away with this film about how it wasn't just the Spider-Man that we've seen before.
Yeah.
It was a Spider-Man story, but it's Spider-Man versus a bad guy versus the cops. There's no Jonah Jameson. There's no taking lots of pictures. There's no any of that.
There's one shot of the Daily Bugle.
Which that's it. But
Yeah.
Jonah Jameson isn't in it. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is really like I really did feel like Mark changed it. He
Yeah.
did say, I'm going to take the Spider-Man and I'm going to turn it not on its head, but we're going to look at it from a different angle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way, I also want to
to
say I was very impressed with him in terms of because he'd come off of 500 Days of Summer and all this stuff, and he was straight up like with the studio, like, I don't know why you want me to do this. Like he was like, I don't think I'm your guy, and I respect that. I think that's awesome.
So this is crazy. This was in my research. I got it from like 3 different places. Martin Sheen actually auditioned. Doesn't it seem like he'd be an offer only? He's Martin Sheen.
I take his performance in Wall Street and then just watch that and then give him the role.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, he actually had to send in tape. He never did a traditional screen test. He just sent in a tape. So, like Martin
That's crazy.
Sheen, like
I gotta say, I do love his portrayal.
he's great. And on top of that, he is so un-Martin Sheen. Like, did they give him fake teeth?
I think he's had fake teeth for a while.
Oh, okay. Because all of a sudden his teeth were on display, and with those, with the glasses, I was like, they made him goofy. This is not the strong guy that we've seen anytime before. All of a sudden, it's just like he is. He's the goofy
There's more
uncle.
for him to do in this one, than Cliff Robertson,
Yeah, definitely.
Oscar winner.
Oscar winner,
Cliff Robertson. Sally Field originally turned down Aunt May before reconsidering after learning about the emotional focus of the reboot. And on top of that, once again, one of the producers was a friend of hers going years and years and years back, like back into the 70s. So that's why she did it.
I'm glad she did it. I thought she brought a nice depth to that character. I thought the relationship between Aunt May and Ben were I liked that grounding. We got a little bit younger with both of them this time. I love that as well because in the comics Aunt May is older, which was always slightly confusing because you're like, is she grandmother?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
she's like really old. I don't understand. So, I just thought her portrayal was really great, and even though she thinks it was a not dynamic role for her, which compared to what she normally does, for sure, but I thought she brought a lot of depth to what she had. So
Yeah. Several actors passed on Lizard, on Dr. Connors, because they were all told there's going to be a full motion capture suit, mostly. You'll be in that more so than you will be on screen as yourself. So several passed, and Reese almost did, but he ended up doing it, obviously. Early drafts reported a different villain entirely, not the Lizard, including the possibility of a more grounded antagonist before they pivoted back to Dr. Kirk Connors. Obviously, we talked about the Vulture, and several other people were originally considered. Oh, I thought I had some names. I must have missed that. Okay.
it's fascinating that they continue to say that they want to ground it in a darker feel or whatever, and then they have this to your point earlier, they have this fantastical kind of character with the Lizard, right? It is. You can't do that character without CG. There is no. You know what I mean? Back like Batman Begins and all that stuff. One of the reasons I love that movie was because it did feel grounded in, I guess,
felt
in
like
our
it was in
reality,
reality.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it feels like I could see someone getting depressed and going learn martial arts and they're super rich and I'm gonna do I could see that, but this is a fantastical story.
Yeah.
So
Also, my parents died.
yeah. That does.
Let's not forget.
Sorry about that, man.
If I have to remind you every movie, I will.
My parents died first.
I'm pretty sure
deserve
that's
more
the Will
sympathy.
Arnett Batman that you're doing.
But you talk about dark. The look of this movie is dark. It has so many scenes at night, just nighttime, dark.
Yeah.
Everything's. It's kind of weird because we tracked how Spider-Man movies actually reversed a trend that was going black, like all the X-Men show up and they're all wearing black, instead of the traditional outfits, and then Spider-Man kind of moves them away from that. We're getting to a more colorful era. But immediately already after Chris Nolan does his thing, well, we better make everything dark and black and da-da-da-da.
Right.
So we're back there again. I guess it's all circular. Or it's a wave.
Did you guys like the suit? Because I actually do like the suit in this.
Literally made from basketballs, which is what Paul likes to point out. They wanted it to be very like it was just thrown together, so they used it with a lot of materials that he could actually find.
That's so cool.
Is it really made of basketball?
Yeah, it really is made. There's parts of it anyway.
I thought that's a joke we made.
The moment where he falls through the roof and sees the thing. First of all, that looks like the same ring.
It really does.
It looks like the exact same ring where he had that fight. And
there were a few nods to it.
But at the same token, I went, where was he? He's like in a building.
It's in a building. And for some reason, on the top floor of this apartment building, there is
a boxing ring.
There's a gym.
They have I don't understand why he's in
giant posters.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
So
Stan Lee in this movie didn't get to talk. I was expecting him,
But that moment is really funny.
The moment is spectacular.
That moment is really funny.
And Stan Lee had gone on record at one point saying that was his favorite cameo of all time. Was doing that. But at least, I don't know, weren't you expecting... Wouldn't you think, like, on a reboot, they'd at least get him to say, Excelsior! That was more Gilbert Gottfried than Stan.
I love Spider-Man! Excelsior!
Give me your... Come on. Okay.
How many episodes...
If I had something at this time, right? And over here, this whatever.
All right, but now give me a Stan Lee.
I had something at this
Oh my gosh! The image that he does see though in on the wall at the boxing ring thing, is that image the same image that's on the Spider-Man comic or like Marvel comic books from like the 80s, like just that says Marvel? It looks like it. I just had that thought. I was like, I wonder if that is that.
I don't recall.
Yeah. Anyway, not super important, but
I do not recall. On the Osborn door. This is such a random note. I thought it was a very cool lock to get in.
The way
it was
he
like
did
the circles and things like that.
Yeah.
I just thought that was cool.
I agree.
See, they're changing things up in the new movie.
I guess not all notes that I write down are worthy of me saying out loud.
I will say that moment where he opens the door and goes into the spiders and everything. Just as a filmmaker, I had this moment like watching that going, gosh, that hallway just doesn't look very techie. It just, other than the keypad, I was like, gosh, that just looks like a hallway at Sony. They maybe just threw something up. I mean, it's fine. You do what you do, and
right.
like you get the shot. But like, I was like, yeah, there's not a lot happening in the hall. There's not like, like.
It was interesting in him getting the way he was bit, and then, he more so than we'd seen prior in other versions. He very much seemed like he was a junkie. Like he was coming off this incredibly intense, drug near overdose.
Yes.
Am I wrong? Like Toby just got a little sick and felt like he had the flu and woke up and he had muscles.
Yeah.
Whereas our Spider-Man was like, he comes in, it was just like, oh my God, what Aunt May and Uncle Ben must be thinking.
Okay, the train sequence, I love that moment. When he's in the subway,
you know what? It's funny.
It's because he's just literally, I'm so sorry, like everything, like he has no idea what he's doing and he can't stop doing it. And he's like, oh my, he tears off the girl's shirt. I love
How'd you feel about it? Do you agree with him? Did you really like that scene?
I was kind of playful.
Yeah,
give him that.
It felt cartoonish to me. Oh, I didn't feel that
you
way
were
about
into the grounded stuff so much that it stood out.
that's
that is
interesting.
a problem of the movie, that it's tonally kind of all over the place.
Well, it is, because the other fight scenes I loved. Like, I really did. I especially loved, I was like, okay, this is one of the first Spider-Man. This Spider-Man is fighting in new ways like a spider that I haven't seen other guys use.
Right.
Of just like in our fight scene in the school. He cocoons him. I was like, yes, cocoon him. Spin, then just crawl around as much web as you can, crawling around, and then pew, 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 flip
right.
to the ceiling to hold him back. I love the thing with, I'm going to throw you out the window now. Throwing her out the window to just get her somewhere safe.
Right.
There was a lot of that, but it was so funny. That scene stood out as cartoonish for me.
Oh, I really love that scene.
Really
that's too
took
bad.
me out of the
I love
movie.
that one. That's
it
too
really
bad.
took me out of the movie. Yeah.
Well,
I did that was the only time I felt like it was cartoonish, because there were other things they threw in almost immediately on its heels of just like while he's working out and kind of discovering his things. I love that he discovers the swinging with just by grabbing a chain.
Yeah.
Was great. And also all the stuff he did with the skateboard was super cool.
All that stuff was so... I thought that was super innovative. I thought that was very different.
All right, like he's trying to figure out what is working for him, which innovative, definitely.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that kind of thing in others. I just really like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that subway scene, no, it bothered me.
That's too bad. Well, I liked it. Maybe it was just for me.
Yeah.
It is weird. He
liked
has
it.
powers now. Well, he took a girl's shirt off.
This is true. This is true.
Thing he did with his powers. Okay.
Yeah. I do like also continuing. I like that Ben lost his temper with him. You get inside, you apologize to Aunt May, and he's like yelling at him. And I was like, we've always made Ben so
Forgiving.
And this was like he was a real
too
guy.
saintly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I had to come down. I had to change my shift because of you.
Yep.
So now I'm doing it. And now you made my wife walk 12 blocks in the dark through a bad neighborhood.
Right. And he literally says, be a man and go apologize.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, they would never even put that line now, but like, yeah, like, oh my God.
Yeah. But I love the portrayal of Ben. I thought it was very good and totally believable that he ends up getting in the way of this other guy, because that Ben would. He would grab the gun. You know, he'd step in and grab the gun and try and probably talk to the guy.
Right.
You don't want to do this. I'm taking your gun. I'm not giving it back. Just get out of here or go give that money back.
Yeah. Go home.
All right, so one interesting theory I read, and I talk about this movie having really not remembered a lot of it.
Right.
You know, so when I went back in, I was like, I don't remember a lot of this. But
How much do you remember of Aladdin? Because I'm drawing a large blank.
oh yeah, it's a young kid. He's he's a street rat.
Yeah?
Yeah, and he falls in love with a princess.
Okay.
but
what
he's not
song,
right for her.
What song did Jafar
He doesn't sing a song, I don't believe. I think he sings verses of a final song.
soul.
Pretty sure that's it, right? It's poor unfortunate souls.
At the end, when he's turning into the giant genie that he wants to be.
Yes.
He says, "Be prepared."
That's right. He does. That's okay. Okay.
So he does sing a song.
He does sing
Yeah.
a song. It's
Yeah.
the Be Prepared reprise.
8 bars,
That's right.
but it's...
What was I saying? Right. So Peter realizes that somebody killed Uncle Ben, and he wants to find out who it is. He's going to beat the crap out of every villain in town until he gets the right one.
I appreciated that. I
You
like
appreciate that. Okay. That's because that's different.
Does he
than
ever
just-
find him? I don't think he does.
We,
does
we
he?
thought he did, but no.
I don't believe he
think
does.
No,
he-
because
So-
we thought he was that guy. Because at one point, when he was at the final carjacker, he was like had the sunglasses but pulled them off. But then we found out he didn't have the star.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
eventually, he changes his mindset as Spider-Man to be a person who has to just do good with these powers.
Right.
Where it
Right,
seems like for
right.
much of the movie, it's about revenge.
Well, that's
Right.
what I'm
Which is
saying. He
something
was
that-
kind of a punk.
which is something that Uncle Ben says you shouldn't be in the business of with the bullies.
This is true.
So
Oh.
it's kind of an interesting. So again, here we're tonally kind of a little off kilter. But again, this is nothing I thought of before because mainly I didn't remember this movie. But looking at it again, it's like, well, that's an interesting way to do it. Little conflict of tones there
But I also loved
and
how
motivations.
Ben spelled it out for him. Was it the guy who hit you the other night? Is that who you did that to?
Right.
Do you feel good?
Yeah.
You know, of just
Yeah.
like, wow, that really,
Yeah.
I felt that dad talk.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, yeah.
but Flash deserved it. But yeah.
And so I think
You're
later
right, Dad.
on, he's talking to Gwen and he's, is that what your powers are for? And he says something like, maybe they are. Like he has a realization about what he's supposed to do with his
Right,
power. I
right.
can't remember her line that leads up to that,
Right.
but there's sort of light bulb moment later in the film.
Well, yeah, I think it's
that's a
because
different journey for him. But it's interesting how he's revenge based for a lot of the movie.
yeah, but even with the talk with the dad, because the dad's not wrong. You know, Dennis Leary is not wrong. Also, side note, did you know Dennis Leary only spells his name with one N?
Yes.
That's not Dennis. That's Dinas.
I was just going to say that's Dinas.
Rhymes with penis.
He's not the only one. But he should be Denis, because I believe Denis Villeneuve does the same thing from Dune.
You're blowing my mind right now.
But that's very French.
Can you remember any other lyrics from Be Prepared other than the 2 words Be Prepared?
Be prepared for the chance of a lifetime. Be prepared. For
I feel like you're making this up.
I made it up.
You poor unfortunate soul.
That might have been lyrics from Wheel of Fortune. I can't remember.
That's funny. That's funny.
If we could just drop in sound beds in the middle, I'd just have other Disney songs playing nonstop throughout our entire conversation.
And then we'll never get this on YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll be great.
You're right. We would never have it anyway. Let's go back to. I'm throwing out notes that I had. If you guys have other notes, you can throw them out.
I want to say, for me, this movie was a little bit more. I felt a lot more emotion with this film. I don't know why, to be honest.
It's heavy. I mean, there's two major deaths. There's a lot of death.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
There's more death in the next one.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of death in the Amazing Spider-Man ones.
But the when he saves the little boy in the minivan or whatever, I love that moment. It's just such a great moment, and then it pays off at the end, and that moment with the cranes, it is a fantastical moment. But it's just, I got emotional during that moment. I just think it's so beautiful. It's so well done. And it gives me I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. Like, it's such a superhero, yes!
One of the things I loved about that kid, and this is the subtleness of our hero, is that, the Andrew Garfield, is that in that moment where he thwips the kid to bring him out, you can see the hesitation of, I don't know if this is work. Because in my mind, I'm like, you screw this up, and the back of that car is going to break his neck as you pull him through it.
Right.
Like, and there's a little bit of that hesitation in his, like, God, I hope this works. And then seeing the kid get out, he's just like, thank God that didn't go wrong.
Right.
Because I'd have been the one who killed him.
Right.
But what do? Thwip his face?
Right.
No. You're not going to pull him by his head, because then you will break his neck.
Right.
So it's just like
I loved
that. Andrew Garfield, hot flash. Andrew Garfield is a really talented actor, guys.
Yeah.
And this is my next hot take. I think he's going somewhere.
I was like, is he having hot flashes? I don't know what.
Hot flash, news flash, hot take. I combined them. It's extra important. It's not just a news flash. It's not just a hot take.
It's a hot pocket.
It's a hot pocket, people. Which means it's also delicious.
You were saying news take.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need.
Kill the beast.
Kill the beast. I also loved the parkour of it all.
Yeah.
So much. Like when he's fighting with the street level people, he stops the guy for beating up on the girl, and then the girl turns and gets angry. Hey, that's my boyfriend, or whatever she says. Right. And then parkour immediately after that. I was like, this is kind of cool. He hasn't quite learned to do everything yet. This is awesome.
Yeah, his training sequences were grounded in him actually going out and getting into fights. He's like, literally getting into almost like bar fights just to find this guy. Right?
And on top of that, to learn how do I do this right.
Right.
He keeps coming home bruised and beaten and battered.
Right.
And we hadn't seen that before.
We don't see May actually say that he's Spider-Man, but there's definitely moments where she clearly has put it together,
right?
And I'm assuming that we're supposed to know that, and that's what really is happening in the story. I mean, there's no confirmation of that, but that's certainly what they put out there.
I haven't seen the next one. I assume that's correct, and let's talk about this for a minute, because we assume Aunt May gets it, right?
Right.
He flat out tells Gwen.
By the way he tells her, what a sexy moment with them.
It was cool.
It's a sexy moment. I mean, because he does, he gets her hip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and he pulls her in, and she's like, holy, I mean, you can see the chemistry, they're gonna, okay.
Yeah. Once again,
cover
if
your eyes,
we're not here, those two.
Yeah.
But okay, so Aunt May, she knows, and he tells Gwen.
Right.
He reveals it to Dennis Leary.
Right.
And Connors knows. He is terrible at keeping his secret. He's awful at this.
Yeah. I like that, though.
I don't know. Wow, Scoop. But I mean, we two of them die, and that's the only way that we're going to be able to keep the secret, right? We still got Aunt May and Gwen.
Right.
And, oh no, Hot Pocket. What's coming next?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
I did find it funny that he just... what did you think of Emma Stone in this movie?
I love her in this.
I love her and everything.
I just think she's so magnetic on the screen.
I agree.
I mean, of course she's beautiful, but she's also just really good at delivering that kind of dialogue in an honest way and being endearing without being sappy and
I agree.
There's
nothing over the top about it.
No, I felt like it was very genuine. I love the stuff with her and Dennis Leary, like when she opens the door,
yes.
like, I'm having cramps, and Dennis
okay.
Leary, I
sure, honey.
Okay,
I
love that
Yes,
bit.
any dad could recognize that. We don't need to.
I don't need
I'm gonna
any
stop asking. You're
details
still talking
at all. Yeah, you're good.
Because she's so rooted. She's in her 20s when they did this. She feels to me like she's an old soul.
Yeah.
Because she's so grounded.
That's a good word.
I feel like she's eternally 40. Like, I look at her in this and I go, he seems young, she seems 40.
Well, she certainly seems like she's taking care of him.
Right. Well,
yeah.
Definitely, but also just it was what I know of this actress.
Right.
In her, like, it did color what I thought of her as Gwen.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I just
At this point,
I do
watching it.
I loved her performance, but I did have this question, which is, these female roles in this are all delegated to this sort of like the damsel in distress, to a certain degree. Now, she does help out in this one. I mean, she's smart. She's the reason that the antidote gets made and all of that stuff. I like that. I didn't feel like that was forced into the story. I felt like it was motivated in the story in a very good way. So it was nice to see her not just be a damsel in distress, which I felt like Mary Jane was a lot more that damsel in distress. And then I felt like they tried to build a story for Mary Jane that just got very like, guys, I just don't know if I care enough about this story to, but I cared about the Gwen Stacy story. I thought her story was very interesting. And anyway, so.
I will say it's also interesting to watch everyone wants to make something different than what was made before, right? They wanted this one to be grounded, grittier. They wanted to make him, street punk or street rat, if you will.
Right.
But it's like going back to MJ, Kirsten Dunst has a different style.
100%. Yeah. And she's very believable. She's
very
good
believable,
actor.
but it's also maybe a little more theatrical, which is maybe what that whole film was, right?
Right.
Which is fine to someone who is so much smaller, like Tobey Maguire in his reactions. Andrew Garfield is very real, so they went very real with Gwen Stacy, in my opinion. But then it's like, where do you go now with MJ in the Tom Holland? And it's just like they went crazy subtle.
Right.
We want to wonder what you're thinking with every line that you're saying.
Right.
Not in a bad way. Like, what are you thinking? But I mean, we want to be able to not the director clearly doesn't want MJ to be read.
Right.
Yeah. When they hold on her, what is she thinking? I don't know, but she's thinking something.
Yeah.
She's got something going on. I just found that fascinating.
I mean, in Spider-Man: Homecoming, there's so many great things with MJ, and like at the very end when she's like, "Why, Peter? Where are you going? You got something you have to do?" And then he's like, she's like, "I don't really care. Go ahead."
Yeah, she's so good at that.
I love that so much. Oh my god.
There's a line that Dennis Leary had, which I found so funny. I had to look up because I was like, I don't even know what that means. And it's when Peter is trying to tell him about the lizard.
Yes.
Dr. Connor being the lizard. Do you remember what he said?
Yeah, there is a line in there, and I can't remember offhand. What does he say? Go ahead.
Do I look like the mayor of Tokyo?
Oh, it's a Godzilla reference.
It's a Godzilla reference.
Yeah.
I was like, I found that so funny. I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I literally Googled it, and it was like, it's a Godzilla reference.
That was the first time watching.
There's a giant lizard. Do I look like the mayor of Tokyo? Which is, even though in the context,
it's a great
I don't even know if it's funnier. It's funnier being random than it is in context.
It was the first time I got that bit, actually, because I was watching it. And I had that same reaction. I was like, "Oh, that's funny. That's funny." Yeah. I also like how that scene ends because he kind of, fluffs him off like, get this kid out of here, whatever. And then he does go, all right, bring me everything on this thing. Like, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I did like that of having the disagreement with him and then starting to understand, especially once he knows it's him, it's like, your heart isn't bad.
Right.
You're trying to do the good thing. You're just doing it the wrong way, in my opinion.
Right.
But right now we can work together.
Yep.
Especially with Peter. And the smartest thing he could have said in that moment was, Your daughter's at Oscorp, and he's heading there now.
Yep.
Right now.
Yep.
So we can either do this,
Yeah.
or we can go save the girl that I really like and is your daughter.
Yeah.
You know, which I thought was great. Once again, going back to, I don't know if it was the writers, I don't know if it was Mark, I don't know who came up with it, but some of the things they did to make him more spider-like. Making the web in the sewer and literally using the web like spiders. Just sitting there, hanging out, doing nothing. Wait, there's tension on that one over there. All right, let's get ready. You know?
Right.
That's what a
Right.
spider does. That's the whole purpose of the web.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah,
like,
but did he study spiders to like learn how they walk, and so he's changed his movements just a little bit from Tobey Maguire?
yes,
He
Andrew
did.
Garfield
Yeah.
did, and you could see it. Also, you could see him more animal.
Yeah, he did some
Like-
of that physical studying, yeah.
And also, some of his head movements from time to time, it's jerky. It's not. It actually reminded me of Jeff Goldblum in The Fly.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Brundlefly.
Right. It was a little odd.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jeff Goldblum, so
Yes.
I just saw one of the Jurassic Parks. I think it was the last one that Jeff Goldblum was in. What was the third one? Jurassic World.
Dominion.
Is it Dominion?
Yeah.
Is it Fallen Kingdom was second, and then Dominion
Yeah.
was third?
Correct.
Okay. The bad guy,
Oh, yeah.
our Steve Jobs in Dominion, is played by
The
Peter
dad.
Parker's dad.
Yeah.
I was like, why does he look familiar? Then I went,
The dad.
that's
No.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's fake Steve Jobs.
Fake Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Who was great as fake Steve Jobs. I thought he was fantastic in that movie.
One of the
I
better
hate that
things
movie.
in that film.
Yeah,
I
terrible movie
Yeah.
otherwise.
That movie is woof. Wow.
It's fun in the sense that it brings everybody together, brings the worlds together.
Right.
That part I enjoy.
But Ian Malcolm does nothing in that movie at all. He gives them access, and then he stands around just making his quips like he does, and they weren't as good as the
No.
original quips. No, and you know what it was missing? The Steve Jobs villain at one point did not sing "Be Prepared," and he should have.
that was missing.
Dig up Virginia, boys.
Yes, exactly. I will say one of my notes that I had during the fight with the lizard. They're in the sewers, and he's like rolling through it, and it's like, that's New York City sewer water. Like, is there
Oh,
anything more
yeah.
disgusting than that?
Oh yeah. No, there's nothing good there.
Yeah. But once again, I really did love. There were so many things that he did in this movie as a spider that was spider-like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't see one of his signature moves is thwip against something and then yanking to propel himself forward. And he does that several times in this movie.
To be clear for our audience who can't see Justin, because no one can, because this is just audio, a thwip that he keeps referring to is when Spider-Man presses against the inside of his hand and the spider web comes out.
With his middle
it
and
does
his
the
ring finger, and it does.
Yes, yeah.
Well, in the comics, it's a thwip. So anyone, right? It literally says thwip. So right. But if you didn't have that audio cue while you're reading a comic book, if Sean's not there over your shoulder, which would be cool. I bet you could hire Sean if you wanted to come to your house and every
I don't know how much
time.
he works.
Just go ahead, turn to the next page.
Okay, I'm reading a comic book, but I can't quite get the sound.
Sounds just like Sidney Poitier.
It was really good.
All right.
It's really good. I was like, that's not Glenn Close at all.
No. The CGI, I thought. Was this remastered, do you know?
Oh.
For streaming and
What
such?
did you watch it on?
I watched it on Disney
Me
Plus.
too.
Yeah. I don't
The
know.
CGI was really good.
It was really good. Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
I felt like they finally got gravity and the uncontrollability that it would take while swinging through the city. They finally got that right.
Well, some of that is because they really did do some of those stunts, the swinging and stuff like that. I don't think they had done that big of swings. There were some big swings
Right.
that they did physically, and I think they learned. Like, I'm sure the visual effects guys were like, that looks different than what we've been doing.
Right.
So
There was also something different, and I don't know if you noticed this. Okay, typically we see Spider-Man when he thwips as he's going through the city. Where does he thwip?
top of the
Where's
building or
top of the building?
Yeah.
He wasn't aiming for the top of the building on this. He did cross-thwipping. So he'd go to the left, and he'd swing right, and as he's arcing back around, he'd thwip off to the right. So he arcs he stayed low. Because you don't always have... I mean, of course, I say you don't always have a crane above you. He literally had cranes above him in this time that we saw. But I was like... Yeah,
right.
You don't always get to go high. You go, especially if you're going for speed, thwip, 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 and you work up your momentum, right?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I never gave this film the credit it was due until last night.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Did you watch it last night too?
I literally watched it last night.
I got back from the party and I had watched maybe 20 or 30 minutes of it, and so I didn't realize how long it was. It's kind of a long
2.5
movie.
hours.
Didn't he say to not break it up when you watch it?
Yes,
I know.
You can't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know.
Come on, kids.
Thwick.
Thwip. 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 Also, something I loved in this movie, didn't know. C. Thomas Mother effing Howell. Come on.
Who was he again?
He was Jack's father, who also happens to be the head crane guy.
That's right.
He saves Jack. Jack is the one who's in the car.
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize that as C. Thomas Howell. He's kind of in the dark when you first see him. And then it's later when he's with the crane guys where he's like, that's C. Thomas Howell. Wait, that's the same guy who was what with the what? I just thought it was awesome.
Now,
That's awesome.
Yeah, he showed up in Punisher, and now I'm seeing that that's a mistake. It's the Marvel Universe.
This is in the series. You're right.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that.
Well,
He was also,
that's Sony. Sony versus
but
different.
he was also in 24.
True.
How can all this be true? How did he go from being a CIA guy to a construction guy?
God, you got me, Justin. I don't know. This is part of
I'm
We
pretty
Under the
sure
Quiz.
it's just Hollywood magic. That's all it is.
All right. I'm going to go back to, I have like two more notes. One, I still just love the way that they fought. I love Lizard, not just scratching, grabbing, holding, throwing, and using his tail.
Yeah.
Of just like wrapping the tail around his neck or wrapping him around and just slamming him up against a wall.
Yeah.
I was like, their stunt people clearly said, these are the tools that this character has. How would he use them?
Right.
You know?
Right.
You wield a katana differently than you wield a broadsword, and a good stunt person knows that. Mm-hmm. Your choreographer is going to know that. He's going to use it very differently.
Right.
If you are big and bulky and you use an axe to destroy people, you're going to move and fight very differently than a little guy, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, a little guy who's got, size or something.
Yeah.
It was just, I was so impressed with this. So impressed with it on that level. Several things impressed me. But my final thought was, on the upside of Dennis Leary dying, it's one less person that now knows his identity.
It's
I mean,
interesting.
that is an upside. That is an upside.
I read that in the comic. He says, "Be sure to take care of Gwen."
As opposed to stay away from her.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that.
interesting. So it almost makes his upcoming choices really poor.
Yeah.
But I like her so much. I mean, it doesn't seem like the best reason to stick around.
Well, they literally end the movie with him saying, "There's some line in the classroom about rules." And he says something to the effect of, "Those are the best ones to break," or no promises. She says, "Don't make promises you can't keep," and
Right.
he says, "Those are the best ones to
Yeah,
break."
you're right.
Yeah, and then she smirks.
and then she kind of smirks like, "Oh, I'm going to get my guy." I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know that does speak to the
plays
sort
into
of
that,
a little bit of dickishness, like you kind of made the dying dad promise,
Yeah, exactly. Stick to it or don't stick to it.
Yeah.
Although her whole monologue of, you weren't there. You weren't there. I haven't seen you for 6 months. I really needed you. Where were you? Like, it was a great monologue.
Yeah.
I was like, that's Emma Stone just being awesome.
Yeah.
Living it, being real.
I actually love that line too, because she says, 2 of my teachers were there,
Yeah.
but you weren't there.
Yeah.
What a great line.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
This was the first Spider-Man film to fully focus on Gwen Stacy as the main love interest instead of Mary Jane. The movie leaned heavily into Peter Parker's parents' mystery storyline, which we still don't know.
I think by halfway through the movie, it's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're done talking about the folks.
Leaned more into.
Yeah,
I will say
at all, because it's interesting because they had a whole. The trailer was like discover the untold truth, and and by like halfway through the movie, you're like, oh, we know what's up.
I mean, it is true though, like because we don't get any sense. We talked about this on the other podcast. We don't get any sense of what happens to the parents in the other Spider-Man movies at all. Not even. There's no hint at all.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently there was a lot more story here. There's a ton that was left on the cutting room floor.
Oh.
I'm going to do my best to post that stuff on Facebook when it comes out, but apparently there was a lot more that also tended to dive heavily into the parents.
Oh.
So maybe we'll see if we can find that original script. I wonder if that original script
That
is
would
out
have
there
been
somewhere.
cool, actually. I mean, I did, like I said, the mystery part of, and I agree with you, Paul. Like halfway through, they like completely drop that whole thing.
It was a device for him to get their research to Connors.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, but I will say, I love that mystery. I thought the mystery was so good. I wish they would have doubled down on it a little bit more. I think that would have been cool. I like the discovery of all that. Speaking of devices, real quick, I'm going to completely derail us and just say, over the weekend, I was exhausted after, but it was a busy weekend. But anyway, I watched Dial of Destiny. Yeah. And you guys have seen the Big Bang Theory show, maybe, that talks about Raiders of the Lost Ark, that basically says, well, if they never would have got the Ark, the Nazis would have got it, and they all would have died anyway. And so,
untrue.
Yeah, I agree. But I want to hear your reason for that. But then I realized, I was thinking about it for some reason. It popped in my head this morning. I went, oh my God, Dial of Destiny is the same exact story. If they wouldn't have gone after the what is that thing called? What is it called? That Antikythera.
Antikythera.
Yeah, that's
if they wouldn't have,
commonly known as the Dial of Destiny.
The Dial of Destiny. If they wouldn't have gone after the Antikythera, and the Nazis would have just done it, and they would have gone to the wrong coordinates, they would have just gone back in time, they would have just died anyway, and none of that would have needed to happen. I went, oh my God, it's literally the same thing. Because I had another moment where I was like, oh my God, the overall storyline of this is Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's, we have the Antikythera. Nope, I've got the Antikythera. And the same thing as Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, we've got the Ark. No, you've got the Ark. No, we've got the Ark. And like, I was like, oh my God, this is the same thing again.
That's fun.
Anyway, that was just, again, I derailed us, but we'll get the train back on the tracks. Here you go, Justin.
I'm going to have to watch,
unfortunate soul.
twist my arm to watch Dial of Destiny again, but I'm going to have to do that and derail that theory.
I hope you do, because I actually, I enjoy the film. I do have one complaint about it, and that is the entire opening sequence, as fun as it is, and it is fun, is, in my opinion, unnecessary. And I think it would have been really interesting to start the movie with just older Indiana Jones in his world, being visited by his goddaughter. Let things unfold. Let there be mystery. They just set up so much stuff, and that whole opening sequence, he's literally almost a superhero. The stuff that he did, they're on a train having a fight. All of that stuff is just so fantastical.
I disagree,
so weird.
because
I didn't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
I disagree, because we were, first of all, waiting 15 plus years for Indiana Jones to kick Nazi ass again, for one. But
Agreed,
secondly,
yeah.
I love seeing how he's kind of Mads Mikkelsen's character is kind of a nebbishy nerd.
Yeah.
Like getting just dismissed, and so when you see him and he has all this power of sorts to like talk down to the wait staff at the place where he's working, and like
he has henchmen.
You see the change, and I like the change and what seeing what caused it for him.
This is why Paul is the movie guys, because he's got great arguments on stuff. I like that. Yeah, that's a good argument.
But I'm going to argue against the "there were unnecessary" thing. I'm going to watch that movie again. I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark over the weekend.
Oh, you did?
How is it compared to Raiders of the Lost Ark?
It's not that. Hey, did you see the one that fan made?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I haven't seen. Wait,
you and I went and saw it.
I'll make that the next DVD.
Oh my God, yes, please, because I've wanted to see it, and I don't think it's on streaming, right?
Didn't you and I see it at the Newport Beach Film Festival? You joined me for that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
saw
my
it on
God,
the big screen.
I really want to see it. Okay,
with
great.
a Q&A with the guys who made it.
That guy was on the Movie Guys podcast too. Yeah, so that's how I got a copy. So I'll lend it to you. It's fine.
That would be great. Yes,
because you watch
spectacular
age throughout it's just hilarious.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Thank you. Yeah, that's
an amazing story. Yeah, but you have to watch the documentary connected to it as well. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, greatest fan film ever made. In fact, I think that's what the documentary is called. Yeah. Mark Webb, I really like this. He said the theme of the movie is a missing piece within all of us.
Yeah.
Peter has no parents. He fills that void by becoming Spider-Man, which allows him to become a hero. Kurt is missing an arm.
Right.
He literally
Yeah.
missing a piece fills that void. Unfortunately, it makes him become a villain.
Right.
Everyone is missing something.
Right.
Trying to become, which is what makes them become something else. Yeah.
I like that. I mean, again, that does ground us in a little bit more truth, a little bit more honesty. It's not just, okay, here's the hero, let's have him fight the bad guy, and who cares, right?
Yeah.
There's something more going on here.
Yeah.
And I do like his portrayal, Andrew Garfield's portrayal of sort of the discovery of who he is. And I think they did a good job of keeping him more in like the high school realm and stuff like that, which we get more of with Tom Holland as well, which again, I really enjoy that as well. But
Yeah. Any other final thoughts before we go into? Oh wait, well, do we want to rank them so far?
Well, I want to
Before we
say a
jump into
final
fun
thought
facts?
is I
quiz?
do really enjoy this film, and I do think in a lot of ways this film didn't get its due, and I think it had more to do with timing.
I agree.
Yeah.
So much bad press leading up to it.
Yeah.
$100 million spent on development. I mean, Jesus.
I think
Well-
Raimi fans didn't want any part of it, and
I
then
agree.
The new people who did want it were tired of the Raimi. So like that's
Yeah.
kind of
No,
made it a mixed.
It's
thing.
hard to be nostalgic for something that won't go away.
Yeah.
And this was just too quick on the heels of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I feel like also we weren't, he's the portrayal of Peter Parker and Spider-Man in this is so different than what we had seen, and the Raimi version is so true to really the original comic, right? The original origin story, all of that stuff, right? Like it's very true to that, and I think we got that and we enjoyed it, and then we're getting this and we're like, this feels so. It literally felt like a movie that was produced for 15-year-old boys, right? It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't for those of us who were fans of this for a long time and loved it. It was like this is for a new generation, and at the time I really felt that. But now, I think some of it, what's helped me, and I've mentioned this before, is my son Joshua loves these movies, and he in particular loves these Andrew Garfield ones, and Tom Holland's his favorite, but he loves these Andrew Garfield ones, and I think seeing it through his eyes kind of helped as well. So
Yeah.
The crazy cheer that went on at the screening of Spider-Man No Way Home that I saw when Andrew Garfield came out of that portal. It was like
There's a lot of love for
time
him.
forgives everything.
Yeah.
man,
Although people
like-
also, are excited about Hayden Christensen. So there's that.
yeah, but that's true.
I love
the time
Hayden
heals all wounds.
Christensen. I think he's awesome, and I think he's he's just a great person. At least
I will admit
yeah.
he is I've never heard anything bad about him as a person.
He's so humble about all
Yep.
of it, and he's just happy to be around, and that there has been a resurgence of love for the prequels or whatever.
Somehow
So-
came out of this better than Jake Lloyd.
Right.
Oh, poor kid.
Who I've also heard is a great person. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy. That's just something.
I hope he's
Someone-
Just
on
right
the
at the
internet.
top of his Wikipedia page, it says former actor.
Former actor.
Ouch.
It's interesting. Like, I would love to do a Comic-Con panel with like Mark Webb, Jake Lloyd, a couple of people that is just like the internet hated you.
Yeah.
How'd you deal with that?
Ahmed Best.
Ahmed Best or Rose? What was her face?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
What
I
was her
really
face?
would. I really would love to do a panel of just like, how do you get past
She
that?
hasn't had. Has she had her resurgence
No.
really? Yeah, because I don't think there's been a lot of love for but people just still vilify
Well-
everything having to do with The Last Jedi, which I still defend. But yeah.
But also, there's a difference between like, okay, Hayden, we would love to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure
Okay,
he's got lots of time for.
Hayden has become a very good actor, and he's wonderful. But there are choices that he makes early on. Now, terrible script, terrible director. George, if you'd like to come on the show, we'd love to have you.
I mean, that's a little harsh to say terrible director.
Okay,
I mean,
George Lucas is not known for being an
He's not an
actor's
actor's
director.
director,
Faster
yeah.
and more intense is not a note.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Hayden made choices that people did not like. Okay. He also had terrible dialogue. So there is a little bit that you can say is on him. Okay.
right?
Rose, there is nothing about that is on her.
Yeah.
She was a gal who was hired for a part, who played the part she was supposed to play. She played that part, and that part
And
in that movie blew. But that had nothing to do with her.
And she did a great job in
yes,
the part. If
yes.
if you just talk about her performance, I think she did a great job.
She
I
deserves
still defend
zero
the film,
hate.
but
the writer deserves all the hate.
it's an amazing film.
And the director, Ryan, if you would like to come on the show.
Okay,
we
the
would
weird
love to
part
have
about
you.
your theory is that around the time of Phantom Menace, or I should say Attack of the Clones, Hayden Christensen was in a movie called Life as a House with Kevin
Which
Kline,
he's
and he's
very good in.
great.
Yes, I agree.
That is a
Afterwards,
great- that is an
Shattered Glass
awesome
came
movie.
out, and he's
Yeah,
great in
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
it's just that's the fluke.
But
the
that's
Star Wars
right.
movies are the fluke.
But he's not. I'm trying not to insult the guy because
I think we're past that.
okay, I don't like his choices in the third one either.
Right.
In
Okay.
Revenge, in
Or
Revenge
his
of the Sith.
direction.
And
You
I'm
can
also
blame it
going to
on the
say,
direction.
I will, but I'm also going to say the moment the first one comes out and you're still shooting 2 and 3, and the reviews are all how bad, or I guess it was 2, he came in. The moment 2 comes out and you're still shooting 3, okay, you're this guy that's getting paid all this money. You're Anakin Skywalker. It's just like all these reviews talk about how terrible I am as an actor. Don't you hire a coach immediately and fly him to set to be with you? Don't you? Or is he not old enough to go, I should have done that?
I don't
Instead,
know.
he approaches George, and George.
I think
Paul,
all-
what would George say if Anakin Skywalker? walked-
I can help him with the acting because I've directed Star Wars.
I feel like it should sound a little more like Kermit. Can we give it a
He
take two?
directed American Graffiti.
Much better. Thank you.
I think all of these, all of the sort of hearsay arguments are really tough because, even though we've all been working actors, we've all been working filmmakers, we've all done stuff. The one thing we haven't had the experience of is that level of fame.
This is true.
And I think that fame from just looking at it from the outside just seems so daunting to manage, and it changes you no matter what. I'm not saying it has to change you into like an asshole, like, right, you know what I mean, but like it can change you just like literally like dealing with the world and how you deal with all of that stuff. So, should he have gotten a coach? Maybe, yeah. I mean, you could argue that, but that doesn't change the direction, right?
No. But that's the thing. It's like, once again, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is all just from the audience
Yeah.
perspective. How much if he had come in and really nailed his lines, would George have been like, no, I don't want you to do it. No, don't be bad. Would that have
I don't know
happened?
who that is, but
Sidney
I see
Poitier.
what you're saying in that, like, if you just literally come back and do a great performance. I mean, Natalie Portman went through a lot of stuff with the Star Wars movies that people don't talk about. She couldn't get work after she did. They said she was terrible in the movies.
She's not terrible. Neither is Ewan.
And I don't think Natalie Portman is great in the Star Wars movies. I think she's okay.
I think she's got terrible dialogue.
I think she has not great dialogue, and I think she suffered from not having an actor's director. She was still very young. I mean, also she was literally going to college at the time that they did those movies. So I also kind of think that maybe she was just balancing a lot of things in her life. But I don't think her performance is terrible. But I think it really comes back to the direction. I mean, if you go back to Phantom Menace, I mean, all that stuff that she did with the way she delivered those lines and the way that was all direction, the way that was supposed to be, that sort of odd sort of delivery of lines and stuff. So I don't know. I think all of that could have changed. Somehow we got back into Star Wars again, which I love because this podcast started
That's
with
right.
Star Wars, so
That's
it
right.
will probably always be referenced there. But
do we rank them or do we do fun facts and quizzes first?
I do want to say...
That's what you said the last time I asked this question. Go ahead. You literally said, I do want to say.
I do want to say... Yes, let's rank them.
Well, yeah, I do want to say, this overall, this movie just reminded me of the Ghostbusters Paul Feig directed film from 2016. Because when you watch that, it's a really funny movie, but you can't get past the fact that, okay, they got to get their fourth member. Okay, they got to get the car. Okay,
Right.
they got to get their clubhouse. Okay, they got to go in their first
danger
job.
of the origin story.
So here we're at, well, Uncle Ben's got to die. Okay, he's got to get his girlfriend. He's going to be bullied at school. And so then the new stuff they add in there is great, but you still kind of feel like...
It's a checklist.
Like, yeah, to
That's
add on to what you guys were talking
interesting.
about,
That's
how
a
we
fast-
just
yeah.
did this. We did.
That Ghostbusters movie, because I had never seen it until we did that podcast.
Yeah.
And I was ashamed of myself that I had never seen it because I think I may have laughed more in that than I did in the original Ghostbusters. Now, I love the original
No, you didn't.
Ghostbusters. Well, now listen. I don't think the original Ghostbusters is
Go ahead.
necessarily.
Tell us how the beginning of Dial of Destiny isn't good.
So Dial of Destiny.
the 30-minute action scene right up front where it's non-stop action. Go ahead. Tell us how it's not good.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about with that, but
admit that in the past
I've been an ass.
We'll watch it again.
But-
It'll
but
be
I-
even funnier
I-
because you get past all that stuff that you already have familiarized
Yeah.
with previous Ghostbuster movies.
it's so much fun. I love that movie, and I think the original Ghostbusters is a great film. But I think that Ghostbusters movie is laugh out loud funny. I don't think the original Ghostbusters every moment was laugh out loud funny. There's a lot of intenseness in the original Ghostbusters movie.
I don't hear people quoting that Paul Feig Ghostbusters movie.
Paul
ever.
Feige.
Paul Feige.
Okay, I'll give you that. There are more quotable moments in the original Ghostbusters. I'm just saying comparatively, I don't know, maybe I laughed more in the.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
news of this whole show.
Okay.
That's really the.
I'm not saying that I
biggest
like it
takeaway of the
more
show.
than the original Ghostbusters. That's a clarification. I still like the original Ghostbusters more, but I think I might have laughed more in that one.
Okay.
I certainly did not laugh in Afterlife. There's not a lot of laughs
What?
in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Wow.
No.
Okay, how would you rank them, Paul?
Let's do those movies. Did we already do those movies? I don't remember any of this from when we did
I
did all the
don't.
Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah, I don't remember
You
any of
don't
this.
think that Ghostbusters Afterlife or Frozen Empire are like really funny
I don't think
movies? They're
Frozen
not
Empire
funny.
is very good.
I thought Frozen
Afterlife
Empire was
had
much
some
funnier
laughs.
than I thought it was going to be. There were definitely
Yeah, it's true.
laughs
You
in
had
there.
a plane experience, right,
Yeah.
where it was funnier.
Yeah, I don't think either of them are that funny.
Yeah, I think.
I think they're really well made movies and I enjoy them, but I don't necessarily think they're funny.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2 would be my number one.
Oh, we're ranking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Justin's trying to get us back on track. Whatever.
Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire, I think would be my number 2. This is... You got to give me time because I just saw it last night. This is definitely before Spider-Man 3. So I would
Oh,
put
yeah.
this, Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and then maybe Spider-Man 3.
Concur.
Spider-Man 1 for me, the first one. I think Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
we did it,
Yeah.
and then he did it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once again. God, why didn't I concur?
The opening scene of Dial of Destiny.
My God. Okay. This was the first live action film. Wait, what is it time for, guys? Fun facts about
the
Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, screwed it up.
You guys suck.
Forgot we were watching. It was almost
I didn't say Ghostbusters.
Fun facts about Michael. I didn't know what the hell we were talking about.
Right.
Fun facts about the Amazing
Last
Spider-Man.
This was the first live action film to use Peter's comic accurate mechanical shooters instead of organic webbing from the Raimi trilogy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Big choice.
Yeah. Garfield studied spiders. We already got that for his twitching. An alternate ending featured a mysterious man in the shadows talking to Kurt Connors, hinting at a Sinister Six movie that was eventually canceled. Although they
That's
did
a
get that.
mid-credits, yeah,
That's in the
sequence
credits.
scene.
I don't know. Maybe it was a bigger one.
Oh,
fact is-
shoot. I didn't watch that.
That fact is not fun.
It's not
Wait,
fun.
that's at there's a tail end thing?
There's a
It's
mid-credits scene.
mid-credits. Yeah.
Ah, I didn't watch that. Okay.
I couldn't tell if it was a goblin or who knows.
Unless I was like, I have no idea who this is supposed to be. I guess we're supposed to get it from the hat that it's the gentleman. I was like, okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Was this the first to have that tail end thing in the Marvel movie stuff, or did we have that earlier?
Well, this is not
Right.
MCU, so
Yeah.
Sony's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
First of those.
Okay.
Yeah, first of the Spider-Man. Donald Glover, don't know if you remember this, started a massive Twitter campaign, hashtag Donald for Spider-Man, to audition for the role of Miles Morales.
Oh, I love that. He would have been. He
would have been great.
He would have been great. And I've been saying it on this podcast. They need to do a Miles Morales Spider-Man
Yes,
live
absolutely.
action, and they need to do a Gwen Stacy. It is Stacy, right? Is Gwen Stacy the same? But that whole. I mean, I think that is unmined fabulousness.
I completely agree.
Like
I completely
just
agree.
waiting.
And what? Wow, he would have been so good at it.
He would have been so
Donald
good.
Glover would have been
He
spectacular
would have
at
been
that.
like the perfect person
He
to do
would
that.
have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now we're like 15 years too late. But
Yeah.
you know,
But we are getting Spider Noir. So.
We are getting Spider-Man.
trailer
Oh,
came
thank
out.
you for
The
bringing
new-
that up.
new
I'm
trailer.
so glad you brought that up
New
because
trailer looks great.
I'm so excited about this show. I just can't even. I'm beside myself excited
Yeah, no,
about this show.
I love noir for one. Love Spider-Man, and this is a and I love me some. Say what you want about Nicolas Cage. The guy swings for the fences.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I say
all
about
the
it.
time. So it's just like he never not swings. I mean, even in some of the voiceover, I was like, I don't know if this was you or if someone said, "Hey, we want you to listen to you." And then do an impression of you, because that's what it sounds like to me.
Right.
It's like Nicolas Cage folding in on Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Yeah, you need to watch everything he does because the dude
Right.
will make choices.
Yes.
Like I just saw The Surfer. He did. I mean, it's fascinating. Dream scenarios, excellent. He's still making great movies.
He's just fantastic.
so good.
I want to get him on the show. That'd be awesome.
yeah, I mean,
All right.
that would definitely change things.
But all right, this is a fun fact just for Sean. Sean, do you remember who Cliff Robertson is?
Yes, he's the Oscar winner who played Uncle Ben in the other
Yes,
ones.
he is. This marks the second time that Martin Sheen and Cliff Robertson have shared a part.
What?
They both played Uncle Ben, and previously they both played John F. Kennedy. One in Kennedy from 1983 and the other in PT 109 from 1963.
You know what's so funny about that is like we all know as actors like
Our type?
Our type. Like you start seeing the same guys, you were friends with some of the same guys, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? You're just like, but like in the bigger world of like the celebrities, you're like, yeah, those guys are basically same type,
Exactly.
right? Like, you know, like
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
I love that. That was a fun fact about Amazing Spider-Man. With this film, the Spider-Man franchise broke $3 billion at the global box office.
Oh, in total.
Total.
Got it.
Yes.
5 movies. That's pretty impressive.
All right. This is not a fun fact so much as this is a cool fact. So,
So we should prepare ourselves, Sean, to not have any fun.
right.
Okay.
With
No,
the next
no
thing
fun.
No,
Justice
you're
says.
just going to say this is cool.
All right.
Cool fact.
But I'm not going to have any fun.
Cool facts about Spider-Man. We are a well-oiled machine. Andrew Garfield was already 26 when he auditioned for Spider-Man and thus felt uncomfortable about playing a high schooler. However, he recalled some helpful advice given to him by his acting coach. This is the quote from his acting coach. Treat this screen test as if you're making a short film with all your high school friends. Go out, say fuck it, and keep the channel open. This doesn't matter. Treat it like it doesn't fucking matter. And that's when whatever talent you have can just be there. And you're a child again, and you're emotionally available, and you're not tight and trying to get anything right. Just go out and do it and have fun.
Everything about that is perfect.
100%.
Except
Everything.
fun.
Yeah. Wait, what?
It's not fun. That fact.
Oh, yeah,
You're right.
that's
You're
cool.
right. Yeah,
That's
right.
cool.
Cool facts about Amazing Spider-Man.
No, but I mean, as an actor, I think that's what you always. I mean, you really strive to have that, right? Like, how many times have you gone into an audition or gone, especially for a callback, where God, who knows
just stresses
what
you
the
out.
hell you're gonna get in the room? I have been. I remember the very first callback I ever had that was huge for me was for I mean, I was really young, and it was for Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which I was like a huge fan of Star Trek.
Right.
I'm like young guy, like first time on the Paramount lot. I'm losing my mind over this whole thing. I get a call back, and I remember walking into the callback, and there's one guy, and he's in a really nice suit. It's nighttime outside. We're in an office, and he's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And everything about this scenario totally messed with my head, and I just totally did not nail it. But you know, how many times we go into these things and we feel like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you're like, no, you go back to the basics. You go back to have fun. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Fuck it. Just do your thing. Go for it. Whether you nail it or you get everything right, just fucking leave it there. It doesn't matter.
Treat it like I have a captive audience, and they have to watch me make my choices.
That's right.
I'm going to go in and screw around and have fun.
That's right.
One of my highest paying gigs that I still get residuals for was for Best Man Holiday. I did voiceover for it. I literally sent in my audition. I was on the freeway. I'm sitting in traffic on the southbound 5. Look at my phone. Email. Oh, okay. I got this. And they were like, we need this in an hour. I was like, I'm just sitting here. I literally pulled over to the side of the road on the freeway. I did that audition in 3 minutes, doing my best Joe Buck impression, improvising calls as Joe Buck. Then I was like, where's the nearest Starbucks? Hey, happens to be on the next exit. I used their Wi-Fi because it was voiceover, so, I had to send a larger file. Sent it off, got it.
Wow. That's
no pressure. Didn't treat it like, oh, this is for a giant, this is for a giant multi-million dollar movie, huge thing. It was like, I got time. I'm just sitting in traffic. Let's screw around and see what I can do.
Yeah.
I'd never done a Joe Buck impression before. I'll tell you that.
The ones where you go in and you just go for it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. I mean, you either walk away booking it, or you walk away at least feeling like, look, I did everything that I wanted to do, that I could do, and I left it there. And whatever they decide is what they decide.
Yep.
And how many times does that happen? I mean, it's all the time, So anyway,
all right.
I love that. That's great.
Who's ready for a quiz?
Oh yeah, me.
I am ready.
That's me.
Sean is also ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's so funny because I was like, you try and come up with different quizzes. What are we going to do this time? What are we going to do this time? And I thought there is a through line to our Spider-Man films, and it's not just Spider-Man. It is the man who invented Spider-Man.
Oh,
Stan Lee.
Oh,
so
my God.
we have a Stan Lee
Oh my
I'm gonna
God!
take this.
I am so excited about
I don't know
this.
anything.
However, okay, so all he does is cameos, okay?
Right.
The guy doesn't do big parts. All he
Right.
does is cameos. So this is about Stan Lee cameos. I call it Stan Lee cameos. Stan Lee cameos! That's the theme
That was
song.
good. All of that was great.
These are from Marvel films and non-Marvel films of Stan Lee cameos.
Oh, okay. All
Now, to give you an idea, there's like 45 of these, okay?
Oh my God.
I'm going to give you 10.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
That's good.
All right?
That's a good number.
I did not allow ChatGPT in any way to influence this.
Please don't.
The
Yes.
punchlines, even if they're not funny, at least I came up with.
I love it.
All right?
That's great.
Okay.
We'll do our best to laugh.
All right. Thank you. This is a Stan Lee quiz
Also not fun.
for cameos. Also, not fun. Now, not fun.
Not pitched as fun.
No, apparently very serious.
All right. In Spider-Man 2002, what does Stan Lee do during his cameo? Spider-Man 2002. A, report the news on camera. B, sell hot dogs. C, save a little girl from falling debris. Or D, shout, "It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Spider-Man!"
I think it's number one.
What was the first one?
Reports the news.
reports the news on camera, sells hot dogs, saves a little girl from falling debris, or says,
It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Spider-Man!
Thank you, Gilbert.
I don't believe he saves anybody.
I'm gonna
and
go
Bruce
with the
Campbell
hot
sold
dog.
dogs. No, that's Bruce Campbell.
Oh, shit on a stick.
that would be a terrible hot dog.
All right, then.
But you do what you want. I'm going number one.
All right, I'll go number one.
Paul says, report news on camera.
Yeah.
And survey is, he saves a little girl from falling debris. He pulls her out of the way.
remember that.
Yes, Tobey Maguire, the
remember
first
that at
one at the
all.
Carnival, Street Carnival, Macy's Day Parade.
I told you I was going to take the crap on this
Yeah.
whole quiz. I got
all right.
nothing.
Yeah, you
this
got
is
shit on a
interesting.
stick.
And you're the movie. Yeah. Look at that guy eating shit on a stick. Why would you even order that?
Well, it's dipped in teriyaki sauce.
Thanks, Cheap Slow.
cameo quiz. All right. In X-Men 2000, Stan Lee appears as A, a scientist at Xavier's school, B, a hot dog vendor on the beach, C, a senator, or D, a mutated sperm with a large head.
Look at me! I've got a long white tail! And I'm gonna impregnate someone!
Probably Rogue.
I don't know.
Probably!
A senator? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with senator as well.
Yeah, of course. It's
God,
the
He's
first
a
one.
hot
terrible.
dog vendor
Oh, he
on the
is?
beach.
We are terrible.
I told
As
Paul.
Bruce
I said I
Dern
would
walks
be.
I
out.
thought I was gonna do good.
It's Bruce Dern, right? Is Bruce Dern walks out of the water? Is it Bruce Dern?
Is that Laura
Bruce Dern
Dern's-
walks into the water and coming home.
He walks out of the water And he's bloop, 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 bloop. After he escapes, Stan Lee is one of the hot dog vendors on the beach.
I don't think it's Bruce Dern.
It's Bruce. What's his name? Bruce
Almighty.
something. He plays Senator What's His Nuts. You're not helping me at all.
I know
Davidson.
who you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it Bruce Davidson?
Yeah, Dave Davis.
Yes.
Bruce Davidson. All right, number 3. If you guys sucked at those, you're really going to get this
I'm
wrong.
going to not
help
get
us.
one of these right.
In Big Hero 6, did you know Stan Lee had a cameo in Big Hero 6?
Oh.
In Big Hero 6, Stan Lee's cameo is A, the voice of Baymax, B, a police chief, C, a portrait-style cameo as Fred's father revealed in a post-credit scene, or D,
As a Gilbert Gottfried impersonator.
You called
C.
it audible there, didn't you? You had something less funny?
ironically, I actually wrote that in.
Oh, really?
But it really
That's
did
really
end up,
funny.
It
That's
really
really funny.
did end up working.
C.
I'll go with that, too.
It is a portrait-style cameo of Fred's father revealed in a post-credit
Totally
scene.
forgot about that.
I have no idea.
I've
but
never seen Big Hero 6 in its entirety. I know. My children have been saying, Dad, why don't we watch this? And I'm like, I don't know why we don't watch this.
Oh my
Oscar
God,
winner.
it's a great movie.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's a great movie. The series I didn't like at all, but the movie is great.
All right, so you out of 3, you guys have gotten 1 thus far. Number 4, in Thor 2011, Stan Lee tries to A, drink a full pint of beer all at once, B, speak to the Destroyer, C, lift Mjolnir with his truck, or D, hide while dropping a deuce in the cafe bathroom.
That's nasty. Hild.
Hide while dropping a deuce in the cafe bathroom.
What was the first one?
Drink a full pint of beer
I'm going with
all
that.
at once. Speak to the Destroyer,
No,
lift Mjolnir with his truck,
I don't think so.
hide while dropping a deuce
I think
in
it's
the
the
cafe
second
bathroom.
one.
I think it's the first one.
Lift Mjolnir with his truck.
Oh.
He's got his truck. They
I
say
remember them
one,
doing
they
that,
connect
but
it and
I-
they're like, hit it, and he's like,
All right, I'm hitting it. I'm passing on the gas now.
I think I'm going to guess D every time, because I know I'm going to get it wrong anyway.
Right, so you may as well just get the
Yeah.
funny one. Yeah.
all right, you guys have got 1 out of 4.
All right.
Is it crazy? This is only 5 quizzes, and it feels like we've been here a while.
I'm exhausted. This show has been about almost 2 hours already.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Massive editing.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man 3, 2007, Stan Lee tells Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. B, one person can make a difference. C, don't trust the symbiote. Or D,
For $20, I'll do just about anything.
Wait, what movie
All right,
was
I
this?
should guess
Spider-Man
D,
3.
but I think it's 2.
What was the second one?
one person can make a difference.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding!
Hey.
You got that correct.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go.
All right,
on our way back up to
No, yeah,
500.
there. High five it.
Yeah, why are we high-fiving?
Yeah,
Because we're high-fiving.
500.
suck.
You got 2 out of 5.
Right.
Hey, there's 10 questions. We can still save this test.
Yeah, you're right. You could.
This was me in high school. I can still.
In Iron Man 2, 2010, Stan Lee is introduced as A, Larry Bird, B, Larry Flint, C, Larry King, or D, Larry the Cable Guy.
That was funny, Justin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Didn't have a Larry the Cable Guy impression.
The one
in my-
where you didn't do Gilbert was the funniest one.
Yeah. That was really funny.
He's Larry King.
Yeah.
He is Larry
Yeah.
King. That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. Now
See?
you're at 500.
That one I knew. Oh,
See?
yeah?
Yeah,
We
3
are
out of
going
6.
to pass this test.
All right.
3 out of 6. Number 7, in Captain America Civil War, Stan Lee delivers a package addressed to A, Peter Pooper, B, Spider-Man Newer, C, Tony Stank, or D, Dead Flush.
Tony Stank.
Tony Stank.
That ding, ding, ding. You're better than 500. You got 4 out of 7 thus far.
See?
Number 8, in Mallrats, 1995, Stan Lee appears as a mall security guard, a comic book store clerk, himself, or Kevin Smith.
Himself.
Ding, ding, ding. You now are 5 out of 8, guys. You might just save this. All right, here we go.
What do we need? 7 out of 10? That's
Yeah,
close. That's
Number 9.
passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70%.
Got to get one
That's
more of these.
passing.
I mean,
All right.
Actually, a D is
We need
passing.
2
so
more,
you
but
can
You
get-
that's
need
fine.
2 more. Yes. All right.
One's fine.
Sean doesn't really reach high. No,
I do, but there's certain
reasonable.
things I just don't get, and this is one. No,
Number 9. Well, it is the Queen isn't fun.
I
think it's fun. I like this one.
9. In Iron Man 2008, Stan Lee is mistaken for A. Hugh Hefner from Playboy, B. Wilford Brimley from Quaker Oats, D. Dennis Franz from NYPD Blue, or I guess that would be Dene Franz from France. Dene Franz from NYPD Blue. Or Dene Franz from Cordon Bleu. Or D. Captain Stubing from The Love Boat.
Wait, what was the question?
There were a lot of bits in there. In Iron Man 2008, Stan Lee is mistaken for A. Hugh Hefner, B. Wilford Brimley, C. Dennis Franz, or C. Captain Stubing.
Hugh Hefner.
It's Hugh Hefner, but I think he plays Hugh Hefner, doesn't he? I didn't know he was mistaken as him.
I think he played. I agree.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct.
Yeah.
I think he says, I think he just says, hey, Hugh. And he doesn't, he doesn't say, he doesn't turn around and go,
I buy a Playboy. I'm Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, but he is.
but he is.
He doesn't say he isn't.
Right. Well, you're not wrong there. All right. Finally. Okay. Oh my gosh. You're at 6 out of 9 so far. There's one more left.
We pass or fail on this.
Yeah. Pass or fail on this one.
We already did all the ones
Number
I can
10.
remember, so here we go.
In the Fantastic Four, 2005.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Stan Lee is credited as A. Reed Richards' assistant, B. a SHIELD agent, C. Willie Lumpkin, a friendly mailman, or D. the boom, there it is guy.
No, that was funny. I'm going to go with A.
Boom?
Boom, there it is.
Not whoop?
You see, kids, when you're over 50.
Oh my god! I literally wrote down boom.
Boom, there it is. Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh my god!
Now, in your defense, you say boom a lot.
I say
Yeah,
so.
that's the thing.
So-
It's accurate.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should get it wrong.
Oh, God, that was funny.
Oh my god!
I'm going with A.
Oh, wait. I
A.
forgot
Reed
what the-
Richards. Okay, in Fantastic Four, 2005, Stan Lee is Reed Richards' assistant, a SHIELD agent, Willie Lumpkin, a friendly mailman, or B. the boom, there
I don't
it
know.
is guy.
I don't think you're making up Willie Lumpkin. I'm going with Willie Lumpkin.
A.
You passed the
Hey!
test. You, sir, got a D.
You
It is
passed
Willie
the
Lumpkin.
test.
D is still passing, so.
It is. I don't know if you get a. Do they let you go on to the next level if you get a D?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, all right. I guess it's
There's
not
a-
failing.
There's not a next level, is there? Okay, we're done.
No, there is not. All right. Bring us home, Sean.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the Amazing Spider-Man talk. Next one up is it the Amazing Spider-Man 2? Is that
I
what it's
think
called?
that's what it's
Yeah, they
called.
did
The Amazing
pull around.
Spider-Man 2. Before we go, we always like to celebrate accomplishments here. Paul's amazing wife, Susan, has a book out. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Yes, go to Amazon and look up The Earth is Flat and Other Things My Mother Taught Me. A memoir, as she calls it.
I love it.
About growing up Pentecostal, and her folks took that religion and went down conspiracy theory wormholes to where they were deep into them when Susan became an adult and had to deal with that. So it's but despite how that sounds, it's pretty funny.
Oh.
And it's quite a journey as well. So
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to give it a read. I'm going to purchase that this week.
it's ranked
I'm-
in the new releases and in religious humor.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm so excited for her. So that's by Susan Huckle. Check it out
Susan
on
Huckle.
Amazon and go buy it. It's awesome. Looking forward to reading that. You can find us on all the socials. And I think is there anything else that we need to talk about? Is there anything else going on with you guys?
That's it.
No, that's it.
That's pretty much it. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next time. We're super excited that we're back. I know we had a little little break, and we'll get the other. We'll get back on track. I know we've got a lot more episodes coming your way because we've got 3 more movies after the next one.
2 months.
Yeah, so we're gonna rock them out, and it's gonna be fun. So in the meantime,
Thwick.